Welcome to our shared square, and in today's video I'm going to demonstrate how to fix puncture on a tubeless tire like this. I've done this multiple times in past. The oldest puncture on my tire is about 3.5 years old, and I've never faced any trouble with any of the punctures I've repaired on my car tires. So this is something you can definitely do at your home. But before we start and we go through all the hard work of checking the leak or fixing the puncture on the tire, there's one thing that you should do beforehand. That is check if there is
Leak in the valve or not, because if there is a leak in the valve,
itself, then we don't need to go through all the exercise of removing the tire, doing all the hard work. And I'll show you how to quickly check.
leak in the valve.
And so let's get started on the work.
To check valve leak, we are going to need some soap water. Here I'm using a regular window cleaner, which is good enough. I'm going to open the tube cap and then I'm going to spray it with a lot of soapy water inside it. Drench it completely so that it's filled with water, and since we don't see any bubbles coming out, this is soapy water, it will form bubbles. If we don't see any bubbles, there is no leak in the valve, we are good to remove the tire and investigate the leak somewhere else. Now let's have a look at the tools that we are going to need for our puncture repair. The first is a puncture repair toolkit. It comes with the glue sticks which go inside your tire to repair the puncture, and some screws and a special accessory which is useful for inserting the puncture repair glue strips into your tire. This kit is something that I bought from Amazon. I'm putting the link on the video description. I've repaired my tire using this toolkit in past and it lasted for more than 3.5 years. It didn't give me any trouble. So this is something that I've used and I know it's good. But there are others also on Amazon. You can search and buy whatever you like. The other three things here, they come with your car and you don't need to buy them anywhere else. There's a wrench for opening the nuts on the tire. There is this jack which is used for lifting your car tire up in the air so that you can easily pull it out from your car. And then there's a special lock for opening one of the nut on the tire. These days the new cars, they come with this special lock kind of wrench. It's kind of an adapter wrench which is a special shape which fits exactly on the special nut, which is one nut on the tire. This is there so as to prevent theft of your car tire, because no regular wrench can open this specific nut. So this is also something that you'll find in your car itself. Usually they don't put it in the backside where rest of the tools are. This in my car, it came in the glove compartment. So look there, you might find it there if you don't find it in the back of the car. So these are all the tools that we'll need for our puncture repair, and let's get started. So first, what we are going to do is, while the car tire is still resting on the ground, we are going to loosen all the nuts. It's very important because once you raise the car tire level higher, once it's freely floating in the air, and then if you try to loosen the nuts, your entire car will wobble, the jack can slip, and it's very dangerous. So we'll do it, loosen the nuts while the tire is resting on the ground. We just slightly loosen them. We don't have to completely remove them, just loosen them a little bit. And as I said, there is a special nut. You can see it on the top right corner. We are going to fit our special lock that comes in the car on this nut. The shape inside the lock has to fit perfectly in the nut. And once it's properly placed, you can start rotating this nut to loosen it. As I said, it's very tight, so it may not loosen with the hand easily. So make sure you put your wrench slightly at a lower angle, closer to the ground. That way you can put your feet very easily on this. We move it counterclockwise to loosen it and clockwise direction to tighten it. So here, see, you can see that it's very tight. I'm trying to put all my pressure through hand and it's not moving at all. And I'll put my feet on it, and as soon as I put some pressure, it easily loosens. That's all we needed. We don't have to remove the nut. We just have to loosen it. If we remove all the nuts and when we start raising the car's level higher, the tire might slip. So we don't want to do that. We just want to loosen the nuts. So we'll loosen all the nuts one by one. And oh, my car is moving a little bit. It's in parking gear, but yeah, with a little bit of pressure, it's wobbling. So I'll go and apply the hand brakes. The park, there's additional brake. We'll apply it so that the car won't move further, and then we'll loosen all the nuts on the tire. So all the five nuts of my car tire are loose now. My camera stopped when I went to apply the handbrake, so couldn't record it. But yeah, I've loosened all the five nuts on the tire. For rest of the nuts, you can use a regular wrench because it fits perfectly fine. It's just one nut where you have to apply the lock for opening it, and you can see that I've loosened all my five nuts. I just have to loosen them, not to remove them completely. And now we are going to place the jack and start raising our car slightly higher so that the tire is up in the air. Now let's learn how to use jack to raise the level of your car. The bigger flat surface of the jack should be resting on the ground, and there are two grooves you can see on the top cap of the jack. You cannot put the jack just anywhere in the car, anywhere below the car and start raising it. It will damage your car. There's a special place meant to be fitting inside the jack. You can see this is the place in Honda CRV. For your car, you can refer your car's manual. It will tell you where to put the jack. The two grooves on the top of the jack are going to fit in this plate. So let's start raising the jack and see how it works. So one end of the jack has this round hole where you can fit this rod that comes with the jack assembly. Just put it inside and then you can use it for rotating it. Right now it's very close to the ground, so I'm going to rotate it with the hand this way, and I'm rotating it clockwise to raise it higher. Anti-clockwise will bring it lower. The initial height I can achieve easily by rotating it with hand this way. Once it starts touching the car groove, the one that I showed in previous video, that's when I'll um, uh, feel a little bit more pressure, and that's when the car will start raising higher also. At that point, the jack also fits very tightly on the ground because the weight of the car is pressing it, and it usually doesn't slip very easily, but be careful. It's don't open or close the car gates with a lot of force, or don't open the car boot space or close it harshly. Be careful while one of the end of your car is up in the air. As you can see, the two grooves on top of the jack are fitting perfectly on the plate, and that's the time when we can now start raising the car level higher. It's in a safe position. You don't need too much of strength to rotate the jack and lift your car up in the air. That's how jack is designed. You have to rotate it a lot for every centimeter of height you attain, but that's on the purpose so that people with different level of muscular strength can still use the jack easily and raise their car level up higher in the air to remove the tires. So now that our tire is completely up in the air, we can remove all the nuts completely and remove the tire. Right now I'm at home, so I'm putting the nuts safely on the side. If you have to do something like this in an emergency situation outside the home, my advice would be to put the nuts back on the empty rim once you remove the tire. That way they are secured at a safe place on your car and you will not lose them. You don't want to get into that situation. So now that I've removed my tire completely, the next step for me is to rotate this tire completely 360 degree and keep it look closely for any signs of visible damage like a nail going through the tire or a cut or any place visible that I can see is damaged. I don't see anything damaged so far, so it's time for our next step, that is to use a soap water for detecting the air bubbles. So to create soap bubbles, what I've done is I'm taking a bucket of water and I'm going to use detergent pods. They give a nice foamy leather. You can use any soap. Just make sure that the soap is very foamy. It generates a lot of bubbles because that's what we need to find out the hidden leaky spots in our puncture tire. Now I'm going to inflate my puncture tire. I have a air pump, portable air pump for my car. I'll inflate it with slightly higher pressure. The standard recommendation on my car's tire is 34 psi. I'll use maybe 38 or 40 so that I can detect the bubbles easily. So I'll now test the tire leaks using a soapy water. First, I'll check the sides. I'll start pouring the soapy water on the sides and see if any bubbles are forming. One quick advice though, if there is a leak on the side of your tire, those are usually not recommended for repair. They will not hold long. So if at all, if your tire gets punctured, it never gets punctured from that side because you drive it. When you're driving, nothing is going to go inside the tire on the sides. But there could be leaks on the sides if your tire is defective. There's a manufacturing defect. Any leak? I had a leak here on this exact edge, which was not the side, not the top, but on the corner. And my car repair dealership had recommended me to replace the tire because it was slightly on the sides, but it was on the tip, on the border, and I decided to fix it myself. And my puncture lasted for more than 3.5 years. So yeah, I was lucky that way. But yeah, just advice: if there's any leak on the side, don't try to repair it. It's time to replace your tires. Now I didn't find any leak on the sides, so I'll turn my tires standing and then I'll start pouring the water. Since I didn't find anything on the sides, now I'll start pouring the soapy water on the top of the tire. Look for bubbles. If the soap water is forming bubbles anywhere on the tire, that's where the leak is. If you don't see bubbles, continue rotating your tire and keep on pouring water on it until you find a place where the bubbles are rising from. That's the place we are looking for. So I've located the leak. It's on the side of the tire, just the edge. Actually, it's the same old puncture that I mentioned earlier in my video. I had fixed it 3.5 years ago. I think it has started leaking again. So time for me to fix it. And probably this time I'll get my tires changed. It's already 3.5 years and it's slightly on the outer edge. It's not recommended to drive that way, but I'll fix it so that I can at least drive it until I get my tire changing appointment. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be very bad because my older fix lasted for 3.5 years. I'll remove this glue stick from the punctured place and then I'll place a new one. That way I will demonstrate you how to use the puncture repair kit for repairing your car tire. So let's look at what's inside our puncture repair kit. This is a tool for inserting the glue stick inside your tire. And this is a lubricant. You apply it on the tool tip so that the glue stick slides easily and also so that the glue stick slides easily inside the tire when you're trying to insert it. And now this is the most important thing for repairing the puncture. This is the tire puncture repair glue stick that comes with the kit, and you have to stick it inside your tool that inserts it straight into the tire. When you insert the glue stick, make sure that you insert it in such a way that this tool tip is at the center of the glue stick. Not very accurate, but yeah, try to keep it mostly centered. That's how it looks, and that's how we wanted it. So this is the location where my tire is punctured. It's appearing to be slightly bigger because, as I said, I had repaired this punctured location earlier and I removed the old glue stick. So the hole appears a little bit bigger, but it still can be fixed with the new glue stick. it's appearing slightly bigger in the camera because I'm zooming in, but it's still manageable to fix it. So the puncture I found was actually the old location. So I just had to pull out the old glue stick, and I was able to clear the hole. But in most of the cases, like if you're repairing your puncture, you'll usually find a thing which is going deep inside the tire. Most of the time it is a nail or a piece of metal wire or something. So make sure you pull out the nail thoroughly. Check the nail, it's not broken in the middle. You don't want any pieces to be left inside. Clean the puncture side cleanly with water and dry it thoroughly. Use a small thin screwdriver to put it in the punctured hole. Drive the screwdriver entirely into the tire, completely into the tire, so as to clean any lining within the hole, to make sure that they get free of dirt or any remaining pieces of debris or a small piece of metal. Just clean it completely with a thin screwdriver. The puncture kit also comes with a accessory that can be used for clearing out the holes in the tire. Once the hole is completely cleaned, that's only when you should try to patch it using a glue stick that comes with the puncture repair kit. So I'll take the glue stick using the tool and insert it completely into the tire. You have to make sure that the entire glue stick goes in, only the small tip remains outside. So I'm going to insert it completely. It's inserted. Now using this tool, I'm going to press the glue stick and pull the pin out. The stick is going to remain in and the tool will come out. Let's look at it. Once you pull out the tool completely and you see that only the edges of the glue sticks are there, our entire glue stick is filling up the hole, so there's no leak anymore. We'll cut these edges with a cutter, give a smooth surface. If the edges are sticking out, the road's friction and during the regular movement of the tire, they will be pulled outside. So just cut them to give a smooth finish, and your tire is now good to go. We'll test it again with soapy water to make sure that there is no leak anymore. Before we test the punctured location again with soap water, we are going to fill our tire again, pressurize it again to the same pressure levels because we need air pressure inside to see the soap bubbles. Now we are going to pour soap water at the puncture repaired location, and you can see that the soap water is clean. It's not forming any bubbles. There's not a single bubble coming out of the puncture repaired location. Compare it to the older video where we could not see anything because the water was immediately getting filled with hundreds and thousands of bubbles at that time. So you see that there is no air going out. So our tire is good to go. We can put it back on the car. I'll drive it a little bit around the home to make sure that there's no leakage. And yeah, I'll not drive it for a couple of hours. And my car has a tire pressure warning light. It gives me a warning pretty sooner, so I don't have to actually see a flat tire. I get the warning much ahead. So the recommended rating is 34 psi, but I get a warning as soon as my tire pressure is around 26 psi, which is still good and inflated enough. So yeah, it's safer that way. Let's put the tire back on the car. Similar steps as before. This time we'll put on the tire again back on the rim and put the nuts again loose. We are not going to tighten them because the tire is still up in the air and tightening will cause the car to wobble. But once we have put all the screws, we'll bring the car down by rotating the jack again. And once your tires are touching the ground, you can now start tightening this nuts, and this time put a lot of pressure, stand on the screws completely, because when you stand you are putting all your weight, you're making sure they are going to be as tight as possible. And yeah, that's all we need. Once the screws are all tight, your car is ready to Go, let's check the tire pressure again and see if our magic worked or not. And here it is. My tire pressure is still holding 34 psi. That's the pressure I filled a couple of minutes ago. I'll check it again at end of the day. And that's all. Thanks for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.